straight.
Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibirjitam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatatam Bhuvi Gridanti Ye Buridajanaha. O Lord, your nectar-like words stop the burning misery of afflicted souls. Your words, which the poets have sung in verse, vanquish sins forever. Blessed are they who hear of your vast glory. Blessed indeed are those who speak of you, and how unparalleled is their bounty. So it's been a while since we've read from the new translation of the Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita. I think it was in June that we stopped. We'll be starting up soon. In the next few months we'll start up again where we left off on Volume 1. But since today's Thakur's birthday, we thought we'd read a little something. One of my favorite sections in the Kathamrita, and a little sneak peek for later. So we're, I think we left off at the end of chapter 7. So instead of starting in chapter 8, we're going to jump a little ahead tonight. And so this is actually chapter 14, and this is the fourth section of chapter 14. So this takes place at Balaram Bose's house, great devotee of Thakur. This is on the 11th of March, 1885. And Thakur's been there all day since about 10 a.m. and they've been talking. Swami Ambikananda has been there. It's just been a wonderful, ecstatic time. And now evening is beginning to settle in. So M starts reflecting as evening settles in. And so in here, this whole almost works out to almost a page. There's just M's reflections as evening settles in at Balaram Bose's house. And Thakur is in his very an ecstatic mood he usually gets in at evening time. Unfortunately, in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, this whole page is whittled down to about 4 sentences. But of course, keep in mind, Swami Ambikananda was trying to condense 5 volumes into 1, so he had to cut things out. So this was one of the sections he kind of cut down. But anyway, so tonight we'll hear that, and then after this, after M's musings, Thakur is chanting, and then Thakur begins to pray. And this is a very important prayer to Ma. We call it the Our Mother. So,
Master refers to...
So, whenever master is referenced, master means, it's short for schoolmaster, and it refers to M. Thakur is Sri Ramakrishna, and master refers to M. That's how he refers to himself in the Kathamrita. Another point, earlier in section 2, earlier in the day, Sri Ramakrishna was talking, and he was talking, Girish is there, asking some questions, and Thakur talks about the avatar, and basically he says it's Shakti that comes down as the avatar, as the incarnation. And how to explain the avatar? Analogies don't come close, he says. An illustration, an analogy doesn't come close to describing what the avatar is. But then he says, imagine though there's a cow. You can touch a cow's horn, you can touch a cow's hoof, or touch a cow's tail, and you can say, oh, you've touched the cow. But the essence of the cow is in her milk. And that milk comes from the udder. So he's implying that the avatar, the incarnation, is like the udder of the cow. And that's where we get our nourishment, and the essence of the cow is from the incarnation. I mentioned that because in M's musings, he'll reference that. So chapter 14, section 4. At evening's arrival. Gradually evening settled in, whether upon the bosom of the ocean, where the blue shadows of the infinite expanse have fallen, or within the deep forest, or atop the mountain peak that touches the sky, or along the banks of the wind-rippled river, or out in the field that stretches beyond the horizon. The humble person's mood underwent a change without any effort. This sun, who had been illuminating this world of the moving and the unmoving, where had he gone? A child is thinking. And then another is thinking. The great soul who has acquired the nature of a child. Evening settled in. What a wonder! Who did this? Birds take shelter in the canopies of trees and are making a sound. Among human beings, those in whom consciousness has been awakened, they too are repeating the names of that original poet, the cause of all causes, the supreme person. As the talking continued, evening settled in. The devotees were sitting in their seats. He remained seated in his seat. Sri Ramakrishna is chanting the honey-sweet divine names, and everyone is eagerly listening and have become like carved figures. They have never heard such sweet names, as if being showered in nectar. They have never heard, never seen such a love-soaked calling out of Ma, Ma from a child. Sky, mountains, great oceans, vast fields and forests. What need is there any more to see them? The horns of the cow, the hoof, and the other parts of her body, what need is there any more to see them? Am I now seeing in this very room that about which the compassionate Gurudev has spoken, the udder of the cow? What was it that caused everyone's restless mind to find peace? How was it that those who had held on to what was without joy now floated in joy? Why am I seeing that these devotees are at peace and are full of joy? Is this loving sannyasin, the eternal God in a beautiful form? Is this the place where one's thirst for milk can be quenched? He may be an avatar. He may not be an avatar. Yet my heart has been sold there at his feet, and there is no going back. Him have I made the pole star of my life. Let me now see how the original person is reflected in the lake of his heart. And then, some of the devotees are thinking in this way, and as they hear Sri Ramakrishna's sweet-sounding chanting of Hari's name and of Mother's name, they are feeling grateful. At the end of his chanting of the names and glories of the divine, Thakur is praying, as if God has become manifest by taking on a body of divine love, and is teaching each living being the manner in which one must pray. He said, and I'll read it first, the Bengali, because it's just so beautiful. Just the sound of it is beautiful. And incidentally, in the Bengali, M has this in bold. So Thakur says, Bolilen, Ma, ami tomar sharanagato, Toma Shri Padpade Shara Niliyam. Dehushuk China ma, Rokoman no China, Ashtasiddhi China. Kebol ei koro, Jano Tomar Shri Padpade Shuddha Bhakti hoy, Nishkama mola, O hoyto ki Bhakti hoy. Ar jano ma, Tomar Bhuvan Mohini Mayai Mukta na hoy. Tomar Maya Shongshare কামনি কাঞ্চনের উপর ভালোবাসা যেন কখনো না হয়। মা, তোমার বই আমার আর কেউ নাই। আমি ভজনহীন, সাধনহীন, জ্ঞানহীন, ভক্তিহীন। কৃপা করে শ্রীপাদ পদে আমায় ভক্তি দাও। মা, I've taken shelter of you. I've taken shelter of you. I've taken shelter at your holy lotus feet. I don't want the pleasures of the body, Ma. I don't want people's respect. I don't want the 8 mystical powers. Just do this. May I have pure devotion for your holy lotus feet. A desireless, stainless, selfless devotion. And Ma, may I not be captivated by your world-bewitching Maya. And in your world of illusion, may I never have a love for kamini kanchan, the things of lust and greed. Ma, apart from you, I have no one else. I have no worship to offer, no spiritual practice. I have no wisdom and no devotion. Please be gracious and give me devotion for your holy lotus feet. Moni, M, is thinking. What need is there for devotional rites at the 3 junctures of the day for someone who is chanting her name, and from whose holy lips the Ganga of names flows like oil in a ceaseless stream? What are the twilight rituals for such a one? Moni later understood that Thakur had taken on a human body in order to teach people. And then he quotes a sloka. Hare apni eshe, jogi beshe, koile naam shankirtan. Hare himself came, disguised as a yogi, and sang the holy name. We'll stop there. Jai.